Essex put their opening Yorkshire Bank 40 thrashing behind them as they sent Durham to a first match defeat, winning by 4 wickets with an over to spare at the Emirates Durham International Cricket Ground. James Foster won the toss and took the risk to let Phil Mustard and Mark Stoneman have a go with the bat first. These two had blasted their side to an incredible championship victory in Nottingham last week when they put on 125 in only 12 overs. Their start here was slower on a slow pitch in spite of these boundaries. They put on only 28 this time in 6.5 overs. Mustard the first man to go as he dragged a ball from Graham Napier back onto his stumps after making 11. Paul Collingwood didn't last long at number 3. He drove David Masters, but only as far as Sajid Mahmood to go for 7. It was not the start Durham would have wanted as they stumbled to 39 for 2 from their power play overs, and then they began the 11th over by losing Stoneman, who was bowled by Rhys Topley for 18. It had looked as if this pitch was one on which it was not easy to play shots, although Ben Stokes soon made a nonsense of that argument by hitting Topley back over his head for a 6. He was swinging from the hip to really try to get this Durham innings moving. Stokes was dominating a 4th wicket partnership with captain Dale Benkenstein. The two of them added 57 in 12 overs, Benkenstein's contribution to that being 16. He was the next man out with a total on 96, Mahmood's slower ball being well directed. Stokes kept going and his innings was now a rather important one if Durham were going to set an imposing target for their visitors to chase. He received some solid support from Gordon Mutchell as this pair took the total to 140 with 10 overs to go. Stokes had just completed a 62-ball 50 when he was beaten by Mahmood's direct hit coming in off the ropes. Had Stokes touched down at the striker's end without having to change hands, he may well have made his ground. Mahmood was the most expensive of the Essex attack. Gareth Breeze took him on towards the end of the innings and cleared the rope. That Mahmood over, the 37th, cost 14. Breeze and Mutchell, though, were not able to hit as many boundaries as they would have liked towards the end, as Essex attack recovered well from the terrible treatment they got from Hampshire on Friday night. Durham ended their innings on 209 for 5, with both batsmen in the 40s, a little beneath what they would have hoped for. Essex won this match partly through the tightness of their bowling and partly through their opening batsmen Rob Quiney and Tom Wesley. They did just what they had to do to set up the victory for their side with a century opening stand. Stats proved time and time again in the one-day format that early wickets are costly, and that was again proven in this contest. This pair regularly found the boundaries to ensure that their side kept up with the run rate. With those wickets in hand, they were soon becoming big favourites in this match. 60 came off the opening 10 overs and more boundaries followed, with the Australian recording a 50 off 53 balls. Scott Borthwick was introduced into the attack in the 17th over and struck with his 6th delivery, a full toss which Quiney missed out on by finding Stokes in the deep instead of the gap. He was gone for 50 to end an opening partnership of 103, but Wesley was still there and still going well. He passed his own half-century off 49 balls and ensured that he was still there at the halfway stage of the innings, by which time Essex had 112 runs on the board with only 1 man out. They needed 98 more. It sounded like a breeze, but Essex then had a bit of a wobble. Ravi Bopara was legged before to Mark Wood for 10. And Wesley, having scored 71 off 73 balls, went in the same way to Callum Thorpe to leave Essex on 138 for 3 midway through the 26th over. They now needed to settle again, and that job was left to Mark Patini and Foster. Neither had to take many risks. Instead, they just needed to keep the scoreboard ticking over, something they were able to do as they added 42 in 9 careful overs. So with 5 overs and 2 balls to go, Essex required only 27 more to record their first win of the summer in this competition. They weren't helped by the wicket of Patini, who pulled Wood to Breeze to go for 23. The home support would give him some more hope when 2 balls later, Foster drove Chris Rushworth to Benkenstein. The game was just about back on again, although with Napier now in, Essex would have expected to win from this position. With just 11 wanted off 18 balls, he perished, driving Rushworth on the up to Breeze. But it was all too little too late for Durham, and to the final ball of the penultimate over, Tim Phillips hit Borthwick over the top for the winning boundary. It had been closer than it might have been, but Essex had got there with an over to spare. Durham have an immediate chance to bounce back as they head to Old Trafford on Bank Holiday Monday. Essex, meanwhile, also go to Manchester for a championship game beginning on Tuesday.